Guys, welcome back to DevBees, and today we'll be doing a tutorial session on the digital business card UI I've done. So you can watch the live coding video, that is the time-lapse video of the same in our YouTube channel. So let's dive right in. So here I have a scaffold. So I've just run the program and now we have our scaffold here. And what I've done here is I've created the main method and I've called the business card UI class, which is our stateless widget here. See, so inside that we are returning a scaffold. So now let's build in the rest of the stuff. So inside scaffold we need to give a body property. So I'm giving a body of, I'll give a single child scroll view body. So this is also a widget. Everything we are giving for the properties are widgets, most of the properties. So for body property we have to give a widget. So we are giving a single child scroll view widget. So inside that we need a child, as it's saying a single child. So we need to give a child. And here I'll be giving a container, so I get more control over the entire screen. So I'll give container. Container. So I'll define the container to fit the entire screen, that is the complete height and width. So I'll give the width as complete width, that is media query dot of context size dot width. And if I press Ctrl D or Command D in Mac, if you can get the entire line copied to the next line. It's like making a complete copy. So I'll replace the width with height in this line. Next, we are going to give a color to the container. It's not necessary you have to give a color, but just for the sake of seeing it, I'm just giving a color. So I give a color of white. This is actually not necessary. If you don't want to give a color, you can just leave it as such. Then if you want to see the container, if I give some other color, like let's say yellow for instance, and if I hit Ctrl S or Command S, you can see the container fills the entire screen, and that is the entire width and height. So I'll just go with white. Next I'll have to give a child, that is I'll be giving a custom painter. So inside child I'll be giving a custom paint so that I can give a design or the curve of my own choice. So inside custom paint you have to give two compulsory properties, that is painter and a child. So painter is what we are gonna use to create the designs and shapes and all. So you can check out my video on the custom paint tutorial. It's in our channel. Do check it out, where I tell everything in detail about this. So here I'm not going too much into it. So I'll just dive in and give painter. So I'll just give a class which extends custom painter abstract class. So I'll give the name as CurvePainter. You can give any name as in here, like you can give my shape or whatever you want, but make sure you have to create that same class again down to define what it is returning and all. So here I'm gonna give a child of container. I'll give a column, actually it's better, so I can later on I can add the children of it column wise. So let's create CurvePainter class first. So here we have to create the CurvePainter class. So class CurvePainter. So as you can see, this painter class, it has a return type of it actually has a return type of custom painter class. So you need to give the extension. So it's extends custom painter. So you can see it's here. So we have a custom painter class. So in order to remove that red squiggly line on the error on the curve painter, you have to just add the two main overrides, that is the paint and paint function override and the should repaint function override. So let's just add those missing overrides. So as you can see, as the overrides are added, we have our error gone. So here, instead of throwing unimplemented error, I'm just gonna give return true. So it always repaints every time I restart or reload the application. Otherwise it's always gonna show an error because this function is always getting executed. So we have return true. So inside void paint, we are going to implement our paint, that is to draw our curve. So inside void paint, we are going to create two instances of paint and path, because we need a path to draw the outline and we need a paint to draw the design or how to paint or fill color or to give the color and all. So we'll give a paint object and a path object. So paint and path. Now we have created our objects. Now we'll do what we want, that is specifying what shape and what curve we want, how to paint it and all. So we'll give let's say I want the paint to be fill type, so paint.style, which is basically what we want with the properties. So I have painting style.fill and stroke here, so I'll go with fill. You can watch the complete explanation for this on my the video that I created earlier, so do check it out. Then we have what? Then we are going to give a shader. So shader is basically used to give a gradient type of fill and all. So I'll give a shader. So here I'll give a linear gradient as a shader. So inside this I have to give the list of colors. Oh, it's showing this squiggly line. We'll as we move on, you will see how that squiggly line is going to go. So let's just start with the our colors. So here we have our first color. So I'm going to give shades of purple. So say that's my first color. It's my second color. And that's my third color. So I have my colors here. Now I need to give an alignment. So we'll give an alignment, that is I want to start from one end and end at one end. So I'll give a begin alignment. So I want to start from top left and go to the bottom right. So end at bottom right. Sorry. Okay, now we have a linear gradient. So after this, we are going to create the shader for this. So dot create shader. So this shader is going to create it for the, where the coordinates we are going to give here. So we are going to give a rect property, that is rect dot from. So we are going to give the shader from that side, we are going to define it for that coordinate. So it's like inside a rectangle box which has these coordinates. So we'll give the coordinates here. So I'll give a left of, let's say, width of 15. And top also a height of 15. Then I'll give it till the width itself for the right. And I'll give the bottom to, let's say, 0.1%, that is 10%. So size dot height of 10. So it's basically gonna, go from 0 to, that height. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I haven't given the path or canvas, so that's why it's not coming as of now. So let's finish that also. So after this, we are gonna, define the path. So path dot move to for the starting point. Let's say a coordinate of 0 and 15% of height. Next, we have to move it to with the quadratic Bezier curve. So it's used to create that function. It's used to create a Bezier curves. So I'll give the x1 as size dot width 48, almost half the width. Then the height is 38. And I'll give the size dot height for x2. Sorry, size dot width actually. And I'll give the height as, it's 25% height. Now I'm gonna give property of canvas, so you can see actually what I'm doing. So canvas dot draw path. Now if I hit save, you can see the curve right now. So we need to fill the upper portion also, so let's fill that also. So before this canvas I have to do that, because the canvas is the final drawing. So let's give again a path dot quadratic Bezier curve. Width I need to give to size dot width let's say 90. This is size dot height. It's in terms of size dot height. So all the x coordinates are in terms of size dot width, and all the y coordinates are based on size dot height. So just remember that, and then you can give the the percentage and all, multiplying it. So size dot height, give 0.38. Again size dot width, and size dot height of 0.25. Let's see how it looks. Didn't have much change, I guess. Okay, I think I repeated the whole thing. Let's see. Okay, after this I'll be giving the line. So path dot line to size dot width, so it goes to the extreme left end, right end, and 0 height. Then a line to the start. See how it looks. Okay, it looks better now. So we have our the curve design here. So now what we're going to do is to add the children over it. So let's do that. So column we have children. So first child I'm going to give a sized box. So I have it like the avatar in somewhere here. So I have to give a size box till this much height. So height of media query. So let's give a height of, let's say, 0.25. Next, I want to give a container, the padding of widget sets type. So this from LTRB means from left, then from top, from right, and then from bottom. So it's going to leave spaces from these left, top, right, and bottom. So I need a left space of 10, 0, 0, and you can use only also, like edge and sets dot only from, and give it as left 10. Here I'm just using from LTRB, so you guys know there are things like these. So we have a child, circle avatar. So let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks okay-ish, I guess. So I'll give a radius. I'll give it in terms of width. Let's say 9% of width. Okay, it looks better, I guess. Then we'll give a background color of white. Then again, a circular avatar again as child. So it's like the avatar has, like a raw white ring around it. So we'll give a child here. Sorry. That has a radius, also in terms of width. But a little bit smaller than the previous one. So let's give a 0.08 this time. See how it looks. Okay, now you can see that, that white ring kind of thing I told you. So now I'm going to use a background image. So you can, configure your images in this project. So this is it. And if you just click here, you can see I have created a folder called images where I have all my images in here. So you can get the images from, Flat Icon sites like Flat Icon or Unsplash. If you're preferring, icon images, you can prefer Flat Icon. So I have created a shortcut for Flat Icon, but I'll just show you anyway. So if I click Flat Icon, you'll see it coming. So you can just click here and search for user or whatever you want, whatever images you want, and it will show you a lot of images. And if you like one, you can just click on that and you can just download it. So make sure that you thank the author who put this image in. So you can download it from PNG. It's a free download or premium download. You can use it for your web also, like you have the code here. And do make sure to attribute the authors. So that's all in Flat Icon. You can also visit Unsplash. And where you can get free images. You can search for your topic of image and you can just get that. So I've already done that, so I'm just gonna call the images. So here I have background image. So let's give asset image. So before you do this, you need to configure the images file in our project. So in order to do that, we have to add it here. So you just have to uncomment this line. It's actually commented in your PubSpec YAML. You can just uncomment it, and I'm too lazy to type down each and every images inside this, so I just gave it like this. So it takes in all the images from it. After you uncomment this, you have to give run pubget, and once you run it, you can see it shows an exit code of 0. So if you have exit code of 0, then you're good to go. If you don't have, you have to check for the mistake. It usually the mistakes is coming due to the spacing, because PubSpec YAML is very sensitive about spacing. So let's continue our UI. So images, I'll give a user2.png and let's see how it looks. So now we have an image of a user. So I'll just minimize this so you can see it. Okay. So now we have our image. So next we are going to give the text. It's a name of the person. You can give any name, your name, or you can even use your image also instead of using some image from this sites and all. So I'm going to give a small height in between. Then I'm going to call the text. So you can give any name. I'm just going to give a name like Abby Williams. You can give any name actually. Okay, so after that I'm going to style my text a bit. So we'll give style we need to give a comma to define the properties. So I'll just give it a text with some font weight and size, and also let's give that. So here after this style, text style, let's give a font size of 18. Then a font weight, let's say a full bold text. So bold, just type bold, you will get the font weight dot bold. Let's see how it looks. So we have our text here. Then I need some spacing in between. It seems a little bit cramped, so I'll give a letter spacing of 1.15. Would look better, I guess. Okay, now it looks better. Now I'm gonna give a spacing and the size box. I'm just gonna give the occupation. So a small height difference. And the text saying it's a Flutter developer. So Abby Williams is a Flutter developer like us. So we are going to give a styling to this also. So style, text style. We'll give a color of a light gray. Just give gray and give the shade, actually. It's easier. And let's see how it looks. Okay, that looks pretty good, I guess. I'll give another size box also to type in another, the location. I'll just give it as location itself. You can give your own location if you want. I'm gonna give the same, the style properties as before. That is in the, text style property. So where did that come from? Okay, sorry about that. We need to give the style property also. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I think it looks good. Now we'll give, the remaining stuff. That is, after text, I'm going to give a sized box again with the height of 15. Then I'm going to give a row where I'll give the icons of, the phone and the email and all. So row with the main axis of space in the center. So center. So it didn't come, I don't know why. I'll just give center again. Let's just give main axis alignment dot center, so it will come like that. So center. Then we'll give children. So it's supposed to be a functional icon, that is, if it clicks it goes to that. So I'll just leave the on tab as blank for now. Then I'll give a child, which is a container. with the padding of edge insets dot this LTRB, so 2, 1, 1 and 3. Then I'll give a width of media query in terms of the 8% of width and a height of also 8%. Sorry. It's 8% of width itself, so it's like a square or round or something. So media query, this is height. Next we are giving a decoration, a box decoration property. We are gonna give a color of green, so it's like font call then we are going to give a shape which is circle, so that's why I have given the height and width, that's the same. Then I need to give a child, so it's out of the box decoration, and I'll give an icon which is a phone icon, so Cupertino icons.phone, and I'll give a color of white and a size of 18, and let's see how it looks. There we have our phone icon. Now we need to add another icon also like this, so I'll give a small size box, so to separate with some width, because it's a row, it's inside a row. Give 5%. I'll just copy paste this whole thing because it's basically the same, and the only thing that's changing is the color and the icon. So instead of this we'll give a red accent instead of green accent. And a shade of 200 instead of 400. Then we'll give the icon as male instead of phone. So let's see how it looks. It looks much better. Now after this we are going to close the row, and then after that we'll continue with the column elements. So a sized box before that, the height of 20. Then I'm going to give a small divider also, so it has kind of a small line with a thickness of 1.15. And an indent, it is the start indent, or from how many spaces you have to leave from the start. So give it in terms of media query, and I'll leave a space of 10% of the width from start and the end. So for the I is capital here. And I'll give a color of gray, See how it looks? Okay, now we have a small line after that. So after this, we'll give a row again. With the main axis element as start. Then we'll give all the children. So sized box with a width of 12%. Sorry, that 0 is not supposed to come. Okay, now it looks better. Now I'll give a small height also. So after this, I'll give a text saying overview. So you know the overview details of the person. I'll give a style to this also. So let's give a style of text style. Sorry, text style. A font size 14. And a letter spacing, we'll keep it even, so 1.15 again. Then font weight is bold. So let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks good, I guess. Adding these commas and hitting Ctrl S, reformats the entire code. So after this, we'll give a sized box. You have to exit the row actually for giving the sized box. So inside sized box, I'll give a height of 10 again. Then we have a container with a width of 70%. Padding. I'll give a padding of 20 from left, 3 from right, 3 from top, 1 from right, and 3 from bottom again. We'll give a decoration. So for that we have box decoration property. Where color, I'll give a gray. Gray. So colors.gray.shade of 100. So it has a slight gray color defining that container. So let's see how it looks. It's very small because I haven't added anything inside it. So as I add the child or children, if you can say, I'm using a row as the child. So after this, I'll give a border. The border.all property, and I'll give a color of a higher shade of gray, that is 200. Then I'll give a border radius property. I'll give a radius of 20. Now we'll be adding a child, which is a container. I'm sorry, it's not a container actually, it's a row, because we are adding a lot of things like icon, name, the text and all. So a row. So inside this row we are going to add children, and the cross axis alignment, sorry, for the children we need to give the actually we'll be giving the first child as a column. Inside that we are going to give the cross axis alignment as start, and the children of the column will be text, saying phone, which gives the phone number. So we'll just style this up a bit. We'll give a font weight of bold and a size of 12. And as usual, our letter spacing is 1.15. Let's see how it looks. Okay, now we have a phone. So next I have to give, as it's a column, we need to give the phone number. So after text, I'll be giving a small sized box with a height of 3. And I'll be giving a text here. So inside that I'll be giving the number. I'll just give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9, 0. You can give any number you want. I'm just giving a random number, you know. Then I'll give a style property, that is text style property. So I'll give a color of gray, so it's, you know, visible. Then I'll give a font size. Then a letter spacing again of 1.15. Let's say instead of 1.15 I'll give, you know, 1.1. Okay, so after this I'm gonna give a sized box, not after the column. Yeah, it's after the column actually. So inside that row we are gonna give a sized box of width. So I'll just give a width of media query of 32, let's say. Then we will give a container for the icon actually, so the phone icon. So I'll give a width and height as same. So width of media query dot of width of 7%. Oh sorry. So I'll just give a Control D here and just change the width to height here. Then Next I'll be giving a decoration. So main decoration is to give a box decoration. Sorry, box decoration, not border. So the main decoration here is to give a color, icon and the shape. So we'll give a color as the same as before, keen accent of shade 400. Then we'll give a shape of circle. Then we'll give the child. Let's see how it looks first. Okay, we have the circle. Then we'll give the child as icon, Cupertino icons dot font. And we'll give the size as 18 itself and color as white. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks good, I guess. So I'm gonna give, this whole thing, I'm gonna copy paste this whole thing so it's, where is the start of this? Come on. Here, so I'll just copy paste this after giving a sized box. So a sized box before that with a height of 10, and then I'll be pasting it, the entire thing. So you can actually give a wrap this whole thing inside a gesture detector. And just keep on tap. It's up to you. If you don't want it, you can just leave it as such, but I prefer this. So if at all we are clicking and going to call that person and all, it's really useful for us. So I'll just give a gesture detector also. You can actually add your functionalities in that, like what to do when it's clicked. So inside this I need to change a bit of stuff. I forgot to give the border width, I guess, inside this one. So I'll give a width of 1. So let's see how it looks. Yeah, small width is there, I guess. So inside the next one, I'll give email instead of phone. And I'll give the email as, what is this? How did this come? Oh, it should be there in here also. This is not there. So that it is email. And I'm gonna give this as Abbeville because it's Abby Williams, so short form Abbeville at example.com. You can adjust, you can just give your own this email and all, just giving. So it's outside, so we need to get it inside. I'll have to adjust, spacing. So the letter spacing, instead it's not 1.1, it's 1 here. and instead of 0.32 I'll give a 0.19, so it's inside it. Then instead of the green color and all, we are gonna give as before red accent. So here we'll give a red accent with the shade of 200. But we'll just leave it as such. We don't want any shade. See how it looks. Okay, it looks pretty good. And we'll give this, instead of phone, we'll give mail. That's what we gave earlier. And the size of 16. Okay, now we need to copy paste again all this and adjust, change the required fields. So in the last one, I'm gonna give, instead of email, we're gonna give website. Then let's say we'll give the website as www.ibwig.com. You can give your own, personal website or anything if you want. This is just for the sake of UI I'm doing. So here also letter spacing is 1. Then instead of 0.19 I'm gonna give 0.27 here. Then I'll give, instead of red accent, I'll give a shade of deep purple of shade 300. And I'll give an icon of globe, so it's like the website, World Wide Web and all such stuff. So I'll just hit Ctrl S and we have our website also. So we are almost done, guys. So we need, next I'm gonna give a divider again, before that a size box. I'll give a height of 20. Then I'll give a divider. We'll give an indent of 1% again from both ends. So instead of indent, I'll give end indent. And the color, it's basically the same thing actually. You're just giving, the same kind of divider above and below the overview. And we'll give a thickness of 1. So we have our divider, and now for the final touch, it is to give our the social media icons, our accounts. So row and main axis alignment is start. We have children, and our first child is a sized box with a width of 12%. Then we'll give the text, that is a heading. As social. So it's the social media accounts and all. With style, textile. I'll just copy paste, it's really tedious. It's basically the same thing, so I'll just copy paste it. You can shrink the code like this by clicking this minus to go on shrinking. This is the row, I guess. So here I have my textile. So I'll put that textile here. And we have a social. Then we have a size box after that. After this we'll give a row, so it's all in row format. I'll give a space evenly. It should be outside this row actually. So we have our children. We'll give a small sized box with no width, that is 0 width. So if you give 0 width, it's just gonna give a small size box actually. It doesn't actually, give the 0 width. So we'll give a gesture detector with the empty on tap. It's supposed to go to that, that website or social media account. So here we have our child. Then container is the child, whose width is 9%. Star 0.09, so it's 9% of the width. So after this we'll give the height, also the same. And the child is an image. Image of asset image. And the first image is of so let's see how it looks. So we have first image. Now it's just this gesture detector playing everything. So we'll just copy paste this. I think there are 5 accounts. Okay, let's just give each one what it deserves. Okay, instead of 0.09 here, I'll give 0.1 for the remaining. Then I'll give it as Twitter. The next I want to give, let's say First of all, I have to make the width and height. So next is the LinkedIn. Then comes Instagram. So I have a JFF file of Instagram. So it's in the name, we have to give it same. So let's see how it is. Insta logo. So we have to give the same name. So it's like Insta logo .jfif file. So it's a JFIF file. Then what else we have? Then we have our GitHub. So let's show it behind and just give. So instead of FB1, we'll give Git. So that's the name of GitHub. Let's see how it looks. So we have built our digital business card UI. So hope you guys enjoyed. Do like and subscribe to our channel, and more tutorials are on its way. And we will make sure that you guys get all the tutorials of our time-lapse videos. And do stay in touch. Take care.